NFX Shot Network presents a scary horror studio production. Dark Factor. An expensive pallet, most expensive foods money can buy. For the normal person, food doesn't have to be anything fancy to satisfy one's hunger, whether getting a bagel with cream cheese in the morning, a big slice of pizza at lunchtime, a big steak with potatoes for dinner and maybe some ice cream to end the evening. But for those who live a life of luxury, the foods they enjoy tend to reflect their wealth. In fact, there are a number of foods that can be sold for several thousands of dollars and more. The following are the 10 most expensive foods that people of the rich and famous can buy. Matsutake mushrooms, $1,000. Regardless of the name, these are the world's most expensive mushrooms that are very popular in countries like Asia, Europe and the United States. The most popular is the Japanese red pine found under leaves in the forest floor, but are still extremely hard to find. Westin Hotel bagel, $1,000. While there isn't anything necessarily special about the bagel itself, the value goes towards what is put on the bagel. White truffle cream cheese that comes from truffles that are among the most expensive in the world. There's also a Riesling jelly infused with goji berries that has traces of gold leaves. Zillion-dollar lobster frittata, $1,000. Luckily the zillion-dollar name is just a gimmick, but it is still a very pricey omelette that features large chunks of lobster claw meat and 10 ounces of caviar that are placed on top of about 6 eggs. For those on a budget, there is a $100 option with a smaller portion of caviar and lobster. Kraft's Teak's Wagyu ribeye steak, $2,800. Wagyu beef is extremely valuable because of the large amount of fatty acids within the meat. The cows used for the beef are raised in a special farm in Japan, and the steak dinner in question used to be served at the Kraft's Teak restaurant in New York City before it was closed. Bombay Brazier's Samandari Kanzana curry, $3,200. This restaurant wanted to make a special kind of curry dish for people who were considered winners by adding Devon crab meat, white truffle and beluga caviar wrapped in gold leaf. And if you needed more richness to the meal, there is also gold-covered lobsters, abalones, quail eggs and even more caviar for good measure. Domenico Crawla's Pizza Royale 007, $4,200. While the producers of the James Bond movie franchise did not commission for this pizza, the Scottish chef still made a pizza pie with lobsters marinated in cognac, champagne-soaked caviar, salmon, prosciutto and venison while topped with vintage balsamic vinegar and flakes of 24-karat gold. Denshuk black watermelon, $6,100. A very rare type of melon that is grown only on Hokkaido Island in Japan, with the annual collection of well under 100 watermelons. The price listed is for a 17-pound melon and is considered unique for a crispiness and hardness. Yubari King melons, $22,872. While they look an awful lot like the cantaloupes you can find at your local supermarket, these melons have a unique proportion and sweetness that are sold for high dollar marks at auctions. There were only approximately 100 total melons in 2008, with one being sold for about $23,000 to someone who owned a seafood restaurant and souvenir store. Alma's caviar, $25,000. The rarest type of caviar in the world comes from Iran, and it is tough to find any type of store that sells this Alma's brand. The only store that has been known to keep it in stock is the Caviar House and Prunier in Piccadilly, London. The tin itself is made from 24-karat gold. There is a cheaper option that is meant for a tasting sample, $1,250. Italian white Alba truffle, $160,406. While truffles are already an expensive treat, this specific type is the most rare and difficult to cultivate. The price listed was what one person was willing to spend for an Italian white Alba truffle that weighed a little more than 1.5 kilograms to an investor and his wife from Hong Kong, China. Thank you for watching Dark Factor. Don't forget to subscribe.